Hey, you guys, it's going to be video 2 of today. So this next video is going to be proof that if you are poor or ghetto, you have to cut your mom off. I'm going to say mom because she is usually the only one left in the picture. If you in poverty or poor, more than likely you ain't got no daddy around, unless you're an immigrant. But this is proof. I'm going to teach you because I made a video the other day that said, I forgot what the video was called, but basically in so many words, I was talking about how you got to cut your black mom off if you want to get anywhere in life. This is a fact. Look, if you want to get anywhere in life when it comes to succeeding, especially if you're in poverty. Now, I'm not talking about people who are middle class, upper class. They don't typically have to cut their parents off. Sometimes they may have to, especially if those parents are impending on your love life and getting in the way of you having your own family. Like when we get into middle class or upper class people, they can be beneficial to you. However, these are the people that's probably more than likely going to get in the way of your love life. Who you marry, who kids, all that. Like, so anyways, but when you are in poverty, you're broke, you struggling, everybody around you is uneducated, nobody got no money. You're going to be the child that has to disconnect and disown your family. I'll give you an example. Like when these immigrants come from poor countries and they come to America, they left their family behind, flat out. Like they could have stayed in their country and, still been, kicking dirt and shoveling shit and eating crumbs. But no, they said, you know what? I want a better life. I want a better future. I want education. I want my kids to have this, that. So they said, I have to leave these motherfuckers behind. And they ain't been back to see their family since they left them bitches behind. Okay? This applies to people who are in severe poverty or bad conditions. In order to get up out of that, you got to leave your family behind. I got a call. I'll make more on this subject. Hey, y'all. Okay, so what I was basically talking about in my last video, I said all poor people have to leave their family behind. Okay? It's a lot of people that's complaining about being poor, broke, struggling, things of that nature. But they ain't busting no type of dope moves. What did they say? What's that movie, Fresh? You ain't busting no dope moves and you just motherfucking blowing smoke and don't nobody want to hear that shit. You ain't really about that life. Unless you disown or cut off your family, you're not about that leveling up life. Leveling up requires you leaving people behind. It's no other way around it, okay? There's no other way to level up, get anywhere if you are still holding on to the nest of misery and bad luck. If you holding on to that nest, this is how you know you holding on to a nest of bad luck. Look at everybody around you. Are they successful? Have they moved? Do they travel? Do they have good relationships? Do they have good careers? Do they have any education? Do they have anything that is like, wow, they're the epitome of what I want to be in life? If that means you holding on to them. You're holding on to junk. You're a hoarder of junk. Bitch, if somebody was to walk into your house, it would be full of junk that needs to be thrown away. You're no different than a hoarder. You got material hoarders and you have emotional hoarders. A lot of people are hoarding onto people that are useless. I don't care who this person is to you. Like I said, sister, aunt, uncle, mom, and dad included. They are junk. And a lot of people don't want to be disrespectful. They want to honor thy mother and thy father. However, they didn't honor themselves in life, and therefore they did not honor you. They did not put you in a position to win, and therefore they didn't think much of you. So you have to think for yourself because they didn't think for you. They were supposed to have you a life insurance policy. They were supposed to raise you in a good environment. They were supposed to send you to a great school. They were supposed to give you a money, house, car, or have all that stuff laid out. But they didn't. So they're telling you basically to hang on to an empty bank account at the end of the day. What am I holding on to an empty bank account for? Holding on to you is not giving me anything. There's no inheritance up in this bitch. There's nothing that I should be holding on to. So therefore, you need to disconnect from these broke, poor ass people who didn't give a fuck about you, and you have to create your own wealth, inheritance, and things like that. Now, when I say wealth, I don't mean become a billionaire, a millionaire. It just simply means create that life of stability that they simply did not create. Move to the city and place that you think is going to be the most beneficial and prosperous to you and your family. You know, go to a school or get a trade that you think you're going to be the most successful at. Get in a relationship with somebody who's going to be your equal, and that's going to put in as much energy and effort as you can put into them, that y'all are going to help and love each other to the day you die. You cannot hold on to empty bank accounts, empty promises, and false narratives anymore. You have to cut these people off, mom included. I'm going to keep reiterating the mom because she is the one that people are holding on to. You're holding on to her and you're feeling guilty because you want to let her go. And you're like, wow, I can't leave her behind. Why can't you? You may be able to pick her up a little bit once you've already made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to leave you here, I got to get it together first. And then I may come in and give you some crumbs later on. However, in the meantime, if you left me with nothing, and you ain't got nothing for me, I'm going to have to fly away from your ass. And that's just period, point blank. If you have nothing for me, right? When you die, if I have nothing but a shitstorm of problems and bills, and I got to pay and make GoFundMes and ask for donations to bury you, that means you ain't got nothing for me. And that means I have to leave your ass behind because you wasn't thinking about me. Period. Poor people have to cut off their family. That is the key. That is the secret that the rich people do not want to tell you because they know you ain't going to listen. They know you're going to be like, nah, I ain't leaving Mom Dukes behind. Okay, well, stay broke. Stay broke. She has nothing for you. Every successful person in life has had to leave their parents. There is not one successful person that you see that is black, that came from poverty, that did not have to disconnect from their family. Tell me I'm lying. Whether they going to overseas to play sports, they traveling all around the world to play music, they doing concert shows, they book busy traveling. These people had to disconnect from their family. So if you look at the difference between these people and you'll notice what the difference is between you being poor and them being rich. It's they left people behind. You don't want to. You are sucking on them like a fucking pacifier. You still need to have a pacifier in your mouth. You the type of motherfucker that's, yeah, you grown, but you need a soothing method such as sucking on a pacifier. Your mommy, you still got your mommy's pacifier in your mouth and you don't want to take it off. And her dumb ass ain't never kicked you out either because she needs you to feel hope. Okay, she has nobody else to hang on to. She ain't got no family, no friends, no man, no nothing. So she is dependent on your energy to survive. And that's not fair to you. That's not fair to you, your kids, or your future kids. That's not fair to y'all that she did not set her life up correctly to the point where you can finally be independent. You can't be independent because she's hanging on to you. She's hanging on to you, and it's not fair. And what I mean by hanging on to you, like I said, it's before your time as well. Like, parents are going to hang on to their kids when they get old, right? That's normal. However, what's not normal is a woman in her late 30s and 40s holding you back and you feel guilty for leaving her. No. It's not fair to not be able to live your life because she has nobody else. That's not fair. Now, when she get around 70, 80, 90, okay, now that's making sense. But a lot of black people, they're not moving on from parents who are still functional. If this parent is still functional, can walk, talk, move around, drive, travel, go to work, then you don't need to be lashed on her like that. She got it. She can take care of herself. Now, when she gets to the point of, like I said, losing memory, can't eat on her own, can't bathe, can't drive, can't do nothing, yeah, and then yeah, I'm going to come back and help mom out. But until then, no, you got to get it. You got to get it on your own. And this is why all poor people need to leave their family behind. You have to. You got to. There's just no other way. There's no other way around it, or you're going to always be poor. They're going to always hold you back. They're sucking the life out of you and then painting it as, oh, family. No. The only thing you're getting out of dealing with these people is maybe going to family functions. You may go to a cookout here or there. There may be Thanksgiving, Christmas get-togethers. However, that's not worth you missing out on living a real life and building a real life. It's not. Some people are hanging on to their family because they're hanging on to traditions that aren't going to get them anywhere. I don't want to leave my family in my city because we have Thanksgiving every year. I don't want to leave my family in my city because we have birthday parties, because we like to go to the club together, because we all go to the same church. Like, it's stuff like that. That's the reason why people don't want to live their life, is because of stuff like that. Stuff that means nothing. It's just another roadblock in your life, preventing you from getting ahead. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say about that. In order to be successful, you got to turn cold. You have to become extremely selfish and think about your needs. And a lot of people, they don't know how to do that. And they're guilted anytime they want to think about doing that. You got people putting you on a guilt trip for wanting to think about yourself because they did a terrible job of thinking of you. They did a terrible job of thinking of you. Now they're guilting you for wanting to think for yourself and think about yourself finally. Okay? It's all about them. You're around a bunch of selfish people, selfish, toxic people.